Hello, and welcome to the How to Feel Better workshop. I am Shanna Pizer of Shanna Pizer Coaching, and I am presenting this workshop on how to feel better. And the reason is we are horrible at feelings. We are not taught how to deal with our own feelings, let alone deal with the feelings of other people. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, and even when my kids were growing up, I was told, and I'm sure I told them, go to your room until you can come back happy. Go to your room until you can come back with a smile on your face. We have never been taught how to manage or experience our own feelings in a way that is helpful or healthy. So it is no wonder that we don't really know what to do with our feelings and the feelings of other people. So in this workshop, this is going to be a very kind of basic, very constrained workshop on how to feel better and kind of the basics of feelings. I honestly, last night when I went to bed, I was just like, I was feeling like I just didn't feel great about the workshop. Like there was just something that I felt wasn't right. And I'm like, oh, so I went to bed praying about it and like, God, what is like, show me. And honestly, this morning I woke up and there was one slide and it was like, take that slide out. And I'm like, duh, I kind of started making it more complicated than it needed to be. I just want to make sure I'm recording. So I am super excited. I have constrained this workshop because there are so many different directions that I could have gone, but I want this just to be like the basic foundation. I want to encourage you. You could either, you can go a few different ways here. You could be like, this is way too simplistic. It can't possibly help or work or make a difference. Or like, there's no way that's even true. So I just want to challenge and encourage you to imagine, what if this information could make a difference in my life? What if I put this into practice and it actually does help me feel better? And give it a chance. That's what I want to offer to you. Be willing to consider the possibility and give this information a chance to apply it to your life if you think it's something that could be helpful. And just like give it that opportunity, because it's very easy to say that couldn't possibly work for me. You don't understand what I have gone through or whatever. And I just want to encourage you, like, what if it could make a difference? What if it could make a positive difference in your daily life? That would be amazing, right? Anything else before I get started? I just want you to know, I have prayed. I have prayed for you, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay. And I believe that you're watching for a reason. And I just want to thank you for being here. Okay, let's get started. I will share my screen. There we go. Okay, how to feel better. And I am Shanna Pizer. I am a Jesus-loving Enneagram 8. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for almost 29 years. It'll be 29 years in June. And we have two, I like to say, adult sons. And our oldest got married this past summer. So I am a mother-in-law, which is so crazy to me. I am a life and weight loss coach, and I'm also a high school counselor. My passion, like it says there, is helping women to determine the life that they want to live and then helping them to go after it. I really do love, love, love being able to help women make positive change in their life. Okay, this is one of my very favorite verses. And also, and this goes along with the workshop today. I've told this story. I think mostly I have a free video called You Can Worry Less. That is on my website. You can get that and watch that video. And I talk about my son being in the Navy, going through boot camp, all of the stress and worry that I have gone through that. But this verse really made a significant and very practical difference in my life. I talk about it in that video. I was always worrying about my son. I was worrying about his mental health, his physical health, all of the things. And I was praying like I have not ever prayed before in my whole entire life. I prayed all the time for him. And I didn't even recognize it until after this shift, but I would pray. I would wake up. I would literally wake up in the middle of the night, in the middle of praying for him. I would wake up in prayer, which is weird if you've never done that. I had never done that before either. But when you have a son in the military, you do things that you didn't know you would do. Anyway, one specific time when I woke up in the middle of the night praying, I didn't even do it consciously. I think it was God. And I kind of shifted the way that I was praying. And I started thanking God for the things that he was doing for Benjamin, the things that he was going to bring Benjamin through, the changes he was going to make in Benjamin, like the growth and the strength and the relationships and the experiences that he was going to get to have through this. I just started thanking God for all of those things that have not yet happened, that I am expecting will happen in the future. And just shifting the way that I was praying, which praying is thinking, it's thinking, having a conversation with God, right? It's my thoughts going up to God. When I shifted from a place of complete like I was praying out of desperation for God to help Benjamin, to keep him safe and all of those things. And I shifted the thinking to being thankful for the things that I have not yet seen, being thankful in faith, and changing that thought pattern of even the way that I was praying. It lifted a burden. It lifted that heaviness of desperation, and it shifted the way that I felt. I felt desperate. I felt heavy. And just that shifting in the way I was thinking lifted that, and it brought feelings of gratitude and expectation. So I love this verse. I love the first part and the second part, thinking on what is pure and true and lovely and noble and honorable, excellent, all of those things. And the God of peace will be with you, which is also a feeling. So I love that. And it goes along with what I'm going to be presenting in this workshop. So what I will cover in the workshop is what are feelings and why they matter, how you feel and why, and how you can feel better, which is the reason we're here, right? Okay, what are feelings? And again, I am just going to say, I encourage you to go with it, okay? you can look up feelings in the Googles and in the dictionaries, and you're going to get different definitions and descriptions. I am going with a feeling or emotion. I use those interchangeably. It's a vibration in your body in response to your thinking, the way that you're thinking about a situation or event or person or some kind of fact in life. So your feelings are vibrations, and those feelings are love, generosity, anxiety, worry, peace, excited, committed, determined, sad, grief, empathy, resentment, joy, peace, jealousy. All of those things are feelings or emotions that we feel, and our feelings are created by the way that we think. And I'll get into a little bit more of that, but mostly for the sake of this, we're just going to believe that our feelings are created by the way that we think. And then I want to differentiate a little bit between feelings and sensations. Sensations are involuntary physical responses in your body, often dependent on an outside source. So like being hot, that is a sensation. Being cold, feeling hot. Hunger is a physical sensation. If it's physical hunger in your gut, that is a sensation. Pain, physical pain is a sensation. Your body developing a fever because of sickness, that's a sensation. And we typically don't have control over our bodies creating those sensations. Another thing that can be a sensation, I think, would be like an actual trauma response that you don't have control over. That's not something that, because like people that have PTSD and have those flashback experiences, that would be a sensation, not a feeling or emotion that you create with your thoughts. So I wanted to differentiate that. And like tired is a sensation if it's physical tired, but tired can also be a feeling that we create with our thoughts. Hunger too, because we can think we're hungry and not be physically hungry. We can think we're tired and not be actually physically tired. So those are some differentiations. Okay, why do feelings matter? Feelings, any time we act, anything that we do, anything that we avoid doing is driven by a feeling. You feel desire for cake. You get up and you go get the cake. You feel committed, so you say no to the cake. Our feelings drive our actions. Anything that we do or avoid doing is the direct response of a feeling, is indirect response of a feeling. You feel lonely, you pick up the phone to make a phone call. So feelings drive our actions. So that's how we get ourselves to take action in one way or another. Feelings are also an indicator. They kind of let us know, okay, so there's something we need to pay attention to. If you're feeling angry, okay, what's going on? What do I need to pay attention to? If I'm feeling really down, like, okay, what is causing this? What's going on? What do I need to pay attention to? What do I need to be aware of that's going on? So feelings drive our actions, and they're also indicator lights to let us know that there's something to pay attention to. That is why feelings matter. And this is kind of this is called the model. Sorry, this is called the self-coaching model. And this is how this is what I base my coaching on, this model, to help clients to see the power that your thinking has. So we have a circumstance. A circumstance is any fact out in the world. It can be the weather, the temperature outside. It can be the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Very sad, by the way. It can be my husband said these words to me. So a circumstance is a fact. It's something that you can't dispute. It happened, and there are no descriptors. It's just the bare bones fact of what happened or what exists or what is happening. And then we have a thought, and usually we have a lot of thoughts. But when we're using this coaching model, we narrow it down. I want to hear all of the thoughts, and then we will narrow it down to the thought that is having the most impact. So the Eagles lose the Super Bowl. I have a thought, the referee, the referee lost the game for them. That's my thought about the Eagles losing the Super Bowl. And then my feeling is anger, blame. I'm feeling blame. And my action. So there's the circumstance, Eagles lost Super Bowl, and this just like came to me. Eagles lost the Super Bowl. My thought is the umpire made a bad call and lost the game for the Eagles. I feel blame. It's probably not a great one. I feel anger. Let's just go with anger. I knock over a chair. I yell and scream. I might, do a couple shots of Jaeger. I don't know. And just vent and ruminate. And I just keep thinking about how that referee lost the game and kind of keep that cycle going. So the circumstance is the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. There are other people out there that are super happy that the Eagles lost the Super Bowl because they wanted the Chiefs to win. So the circumstance, the Eagles losing the Super Bowl, is not what is making me feel angry, because there are other people in the world that are happy that the Eagles lost. There are people in the world that do not care at all, that have no feelings or thoughts about it. So it's not the circumstance that makes us feel anything. It's what we think about the circumstance. And then that thought creates how we feel. And then how we feel drives our actions or our inactions. And this can be in any feeling that you have, we can map this out. Any thought that you have, we can map this out. And this works in this happened, this is what I think about it, this is how I feel, this is what I did in reaction. We can also say, these are the things that I want to do. How do I need to feel to do them? What do I need to think to feel that thought? Or what do I need to think to feel that emotion to take those actions? So this is a very powerful tool. And again, it is the foundation of my coaching. How you feel. So typically we only feel a handful of emotions on a regular basis. We kind of have go-to emotions. We don't generally feel a wide range of emotions unless we have significant things going on that we're having significant thoughts about. If there's a death in the family, if there is, if there's a lot of turmoil, like we go through phases where we'll feel different emotions, but in typical life, we feel a small handful of emotions. So what are your typical handful of emotions that you feel on a regular basis? And I have these, this list of feelings, and this is not an exhaustive list of feelings. It's just to give you an idea. And I really like to use Word Hippo when I'm doing my own thought work, and if I'm doing a model and I just can't think of that, like the exact feeling that I'm feeling, I'll go in and use Word Hippo. It's a thesaurus that I love. I have the app on my phone, and I will use that until I find just the right word. And if you watched the my word of the year workshop, I love the Word Hippo. Because I like to be very specific in the words that I use. Also, I forgot to mention, there is a workbook. It is in the link on the page for the workshop, and you can get the workbook. You can download it. And it has these feelings listed in them as well. Okay. Look. Good. Okay. So a big list of feelings. So what are 3 to 5 feelings that you feel on a regular basis? Like thinking back over the past week, what have been the predominant feelings that you felt on a regular basis? And then why do you think you felt that way? Why do you, if you feel you notice that you feel a lot of anxiety or worry, why do you think that you're feeling that worry? So pick one of those feelings and kind of map out, why do you think that you feel that way, or that you felt that way at a specific time? And typically it's going to be like, let's say it's worry. Let's say it was worry because Benjamin was out to sea for the past 2 weeks, and I've just been worried about him. And because of course he's in the Navy, so of course I would be worried. He's out on a ship in the middle of the ocean. I don't know where he's at. He can only communicate through email, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So of course I'm worried. And what I want to think is, I'm worried because Benjamin's in the Navy, and of course I'm worried. Duh, anybody would be worried. Or I can recognize that it's not that Benjamin's in the Navy, because there are parents that have kids in the Navy that don't worry about them all the time. And it's because I'm thinking, something could go wrong. What if he's not okay? What if he's sad? And I'm thinking of all of the possibilities of him not being okay, and thinking of all of the things that I should be worried about, instead of choosing to trust. So I'm feeling worried because I'm having all of these thoughts about him being in the Navy, what could be going wrong. I'm imagining the worst case scenario. So it is the way that I'm thinking about him being in the Navy that is causing me to feel worry, not the fact that he's in the Navy. So it's important to distinguish. You are feeling whatever you're feeling, not because of a circumstance, not because Benjamin's in the Navy, not because your husband might lose his job, not because the boss said there's going to be layoffs. You're worried because you're having thoughts about it. What could go wrong? What's going to happen? How are we going to survive? Am I going to have to go get a job? So all of those thoughts are causing you to worry, not the possibility that he might be laid off. The way that you think determines how you feel. And this is just kind of reiterating that. It's what you think that determines how you feel. And then how you feel determines what you do. And I love, there's a great, I don't know who said the quote originally. The first time I heard it, it was Elizabeth Benton that said it. And she wrote the book Chasing Cupcakes. And she said, my feelings can come along for the ride, but I don't have to let them drive. So, and what that means is like, and weight loss is an easy example. If you are wanting to lose weight and you're feeling stressed, and your go-to when you are feeling stressed is go to the pantry and get cookies. And when you feel stressed, but you're also committed to weight loss, like that stress can come along for the ride. It can be there, but I'm not going to put it in the driver's seat and drive me over to the pantry to eat out of stress, because food does not solve stress. Your thinking is the only thing that can do that. So you want the feelings that you decide to drive the action that you want to take. So you don't want to act out of stress. You want to act out of that commitment or determination to pursue that weight loss goal. So the way you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines what you do. And you get to decide whether you're acting out of that feeling of stress, or if you're going to act out of that feeling of commitment, determination, drive. This is another one of my very favorite verses. You will keep the mind that is dependent on you in perfect peace, for it is trusting in you. And the other, I kind of like the other, I don't know what version it is, but it says you will keep in perfect peace. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I just totally blanked on it. Anyway, look it up. It's when you are trusting God, when you have your mind set on God, when you are, and it's a steadfast. Oh, I can't believe that. I wish I had used that, the other version. When we keep our mind set on God, when we are focused on God, God's word, we are going to experience peace, because we are trusting and we are not focusing and thinking about all of the things that we could be worried about or stressed about or whatever. So we focus on God, keep our mind set on God, and we experience peace. Thinking, feeling. Okay. Then how do you want to feel? And again, we experience a handful of feelings. Pick those feelings. And I am working on building a business. I am working on getting back down to my goal weight. And so there are specific feelings that I want to feel to drive actions that I want to take. I want to feel committed. I want to feel determined. I want to feel creative. I want to feel excited. I want to feel disciplined. So they're not always like, oh, feel good feelings, but they are feelings that are going to help me to do the things that I want to do. So pick the feelings that you would like to feel on a regular basis. And I also, I want to say that we don't always want to have like wonderful, happy, go lucky feelings, because there are times when it is appropriate and it is human to have the negative side of feelings. If we love somebody or love a pet and they die or they move or something happens, then we don't want to feel happy. We want to feel sad. We want to experience that grief and sadness and loss or regret of something that we didn't have. So it's not that we always want to feel positive. We're human. There's positive in the world and there's negative in the world. And it would be weird if you have a loved one that dies and you feel happy like that. It's not always going to be like that. You're not always going to have only positive emotions because you're a human. And the Bible says, in this world, you will have trouble, but I have overcome the world. So we are going to have trouble. We are going to have struggles. There is going to be sadnesses. The Bible says to weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice. There are going to be times when it is appropriate to have negative feelings. There are times when you are going to want to feel angry about something, when there's an injustice in the world, when somebody is hurt, you want to feel angry. So I want to, and it's not because of what happened. It's because you're thinking that shouldn't have happened. That it's unfair. So I just want to point out, it's not always that we want to feel amazing. Sometimes we want to feel anger, sad, bitter, resentful. We go to sad movies to cry. So it's not that we always want to be happy. We want to experience the full range of emotions. But on a regular basis, to do the things that you want to do, how is it that you want to feel? So thinking about those feelings, looking at that list of feelings in the workbook, or on going through Word Hippo and finding feelings that are going to help you to do the things that you want to do. What are those feelings? And then just kind of sit with that and let yourself imagine feeling whatever feeling it is. Pick one and feeling that throughout your day and thinking about like, okay, these are the things that I'm going to be doing throughout the day. And if I want to feel this way, how do I need to be thinking? Like, what do I need to be focused on to generate that feeling? And if say it's a day that you want to be productive, you want to get your house clean and you want to feel motivated. So then imagining your day, like, okay, these are the things that need to be done. These are the things that I want to accomplish. I want to feel motivated. I want to feel like, let's do this. What do I need to be thinking? And it could be, I'm going to be so excited when the house is clean. It's going to be so great to get all of this stuff put away. And that can help like, oh, yes, I'm going to do that. So then imagining what's that going to be like? And what do I need to be thinking to feel that feeling to do the thing that I want to do? And then be practicing thinking that. And it really does help with cleaning. I'm not going to lie. I have tried this and it has worked. And then you need to practice thinking that way. If you're going, if you have a day of work ahead of you and you want to feel, what? What's one that I use for work? I want to feel helpful. Going through my day, I want to feel helpful. I want to be there for my students. If I'm coaching, I want to be there for my clients. What do I need to be thinking to feel helpful? Like I am here for them. I am here to help. I am going to do the best that I can. I am going to pay attention and show up for my students, my clients. And that's going to help me to feel helpful. So what are the feelings you want to feel? Imagining yourself feeling that way. And how do you need to think? What are the thoughts that you need to think to generate that feeling? And then practice thinking those thoughts. Practice saying it to yourself, putting it on sticky notes, doing reminders on your phone. And that is going to help you to generate that feeling that you want to feel. Did I take? Oh, I thought that I had. Okay. In the workbook, there is a page that has So in my journaling, can I get new share? Let's see. I'm going to try to see if I can pull up. There we go. Okay. I want to pull up the workbook. Here we go. So I don't know if you can see that or not. In my daily journaling, when I am journaling in the mornings, I do an intention for the day. Today, I want to be, and it might be, I want to be productive. And the things that I want to do today are, I want to clean the bathrooms, empty the dishwasher, whatever it is I want to do. I want to feel motivated. And I want to, in order to feel motivated, I need to think it's going to feel so good to get this done. It's going to be, I'm going to be so relaxed. I'm going to be able to enjoy a clean house. And so that's going to help generate the feeling of motivation. So in the workbook, there's this, and I do this every day. I have a little spot in my journal. I write be, and whatever it is for that day, do whatever it is that I want to do. And of course, like I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do all kinds of things, but what are those things that I am putting as important for the day? What is it that I want to get done outside of all of the things that are, that are urgent, the going to work, making dinner, like all of that's going to get done. What is it that I want to accomplish today that's important to me, that's going to help me feel like I'm moving towards who I want to be? And then I would love to hear any thoughts, questions that you have on this. I would love to get on a call with you. And if you want to talk through how you're feeling and like what this looks like for you on a regular basis, you can go to my website, shanapeiser.com, and on the Work With Me page, there is a place where you can schedule a call, or you can follow the QR code. And I would love to hear what you think. Stop sharing. So thank you so much for being here. I look forward to hearing from you, to hear your thoughts, getting on a call with you to talk about how we can work together and really dive into this in more depth, and for how what it looks like for you personally, and how you can generate the feelings that you want to feel to be able to create the life that you want to live. I am here for that, and I would love the opportunity to talk to you about it and to work with you. Thank you so much for being here.